Hey, thanks for joining in this videocast. So, I had a question running in my mind for some time, and I tried to answer those questions. And I thought it's a good practice to share it across the community. And the question for today is: how much of social media does a software engineer or a software developer really needs in their everyday activities, or how much of a social media following how much of social media should they really be following? Be it articles on blogs that they really, follow, or be it articles on technology sites, be it people on Twitter, or be it threads on Reddit, anywhere else. So been following a lot of articles. I've been following a lot of guys on Twitter, and I've been reading through a lot of threads in the last 3 4 years, and sometimes I felt really overwhelming looking at those feeds, and somehow I found a way to come out of it. And one of the reasons that I want to share this is I've seen a lot of people, spending a lot of time, probably a lot of hours together. I've seen friends who have been reading threads on Reddit for almost 2 hours a day. Just imagine 2 hours a day just reading through the threads. It does give you some insights. It does give you some idea on what you need to know in the current trending things in the technology. But do you really need to spend that high amount of time trying to understand or trying to read through those multiple articles that people are just like you and me are posting across? And so there are three ways that you can overcome this issue that you encounter when you're going to read some articles on the internet. So one of the things is confine yourself on what topics you want to read. Don't just glance through multiple threads that you come across. The second thing is we might be interested in multiple things. Say, for example, I might be interested on reading through UI, which is about React JS, Angular JS. What's the new things that have come up in Angular and React, and at the same time on the back end with Node.js, and at the same time with JavaScript as such. What are the new features coming up in TC39? What are the new features that have come out of from draft version to experimental version? What are the new features that have been added up in the recent releases in Node.js or Angular or React? And also at the same time I might be interested on machine learning and AI, and I would have been following them as well. But make sure that you specifically go to one thread with one motive in your mind. Otherwise, I'm sure you're going to get lost, and you're going to spend a lot of time rather than what you've thought when you have opened up yourself to the internet. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is confine the number of people you follow up in the social media space, either be it on the Twitter, be it on Medium, be it on any of the blogging platforms. The reason being is, say for example, if you're a guy who is in Angular but you're anticipating a new product that's gonna come up where in your company is trying to implement it using React, and you might be you might be one of the guys who's gonna move into that. But make sure that you confine yourself to understand how React is really different from Angular, how React is implemented differently from Angular, rather than trying to go in depth of React even before getting started. Because this is gonna, and I'm 100% sure this is gonna overwhelm you right on day one, and there's no going back on it. When you try to understand React internally, or you try to understand Redux internally, you are gonna get overwhelmed, and it's gonna take a toll on you. That's that's the 4 points that I want to discuss with you. I want to keep this video very short, probably below 5 minutes. We are almost running close to 5 minutes. And the next topic for the next video cast is burnout for software engineers and developers. We'll discuss on what burnout really is, how and when you're gonna enter the burnout stage, and how do you handle it, how do you come out of it, and all of such. So having 8 or less seconds remaining in this video, I want to say bye. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your comments. Post them below. Bye bye.